Welcome back, True Seeker. Want to talk a little bit about the Cavs at the Warriors game on Christmas Day, which was yesterday, December 25th, 2017. I pointed out before the game why I like the Warriors to win this. Made a lot of sense looking at the numbers, understanding that professional sports are scripted by the numbers, why the Warriors would win. Yesterday happened to be the 110th game all-time between the Warriors and Cavs in the regular season, not counting their finals matchups. The reason that matters is because the word Christmas, using the alphabetic order, equals 110. C is 3, H is 8, R is 18, I is 9, S is 19, T is 20, M is 13, A is 1, S is 19. You add those numbers together, 110. This was the 110th matchup between the two teams. And Golden State came in with 57 wins all time in the regular season, meaning if they won yesterday, which they did, it would be their 58th. And Golden State equals 58, so does Oakland, using the reduction methods. Also, I noticed that if the Cavs were to lose yesterday, which they did, they'd become 10-6 away. That's a lot like 106. And remember, Oracle Arena is 106 feet tall. Remember the whole ritual with 106, the year the Cavs won it in Game 7 in Oracle? Talked about why that number mattered all year and why the Cavs would win the championship. Ended up winning it on the real King James's birthday. King James, who has a Bible named after him. And here we are talking about a game on Christmas, a date that has a lot to do with Christianity, which has a lot to do with the Bible. By the way, yesterday's date also had numerology of 54, which connects to Oracle. Remember the 54-game win streak that was snapped at Oracle? Again, everything by the numbers. So the final score was 99-92. The Warriors won by 7, number that has a lot to do with the Bible and Jesus. That's a sum of 191 points. And remember, Society of Jesus equals 191. That's the Jesuit order. Freemasonry, especially the Jesuits, the Freemasons within the Catholic Church, they control the world of professional sports and collegiate sports and, in a way, high school sports. Freemasonry controls athletics. It's undeniable, and they control it by this code, which we're going to talk more about. So I noticed that from the game to the upcoming start of the NBA Finals is 157 days, or a span of 158. The thing that's interesting about 157, you might remember Steph Curry's three-point streak ending at 157 games last year. He ended in Oracle Arena, or not at Oracle Arena, the Staples Center. Staples Center equals 157. But beyond that, 157 is the 37th prime number. The 37th prime. December equals 37, and then 12, 25. 12 plus 25, 37. Thought that was interesting. Sometimes things can be coincidental. But the reason I'm really making this video is right here. As I've explained, all of these games are scripted from the final score to the box score. And again, I've been saying this for years, and the proof is building. Technology is being used in the NBA to ensure the accuracy of scores, to ensure the accuracy of box scores. It's not just being used in the NBA, it's being used in college basketball. There is technology in these hoops and in these basketballs. Every game is scripted perfectly. This can only be done with technology. And what jumped out at me right away is that the Cavs shot 31.8% from the field on Christmas. Using the reverse alphabetic order, where Z is 1 up to A is 26, Cleveland Cavaliers is 318. This is a very important number in the Bible in regards to Jesus, and this game was on Christmas. In the Bible, there are 318 mentions of the return of Christ. 318. March 18th, 318, is the 77th day of the year. The word Christ equals 77. Remember, the calendar system we're on was built by the Catholic Church, which obviously has a lot to do with the Bible and Jesus. And on the subject of 318, I want to show you this. This is the opening to the TV show Touch, which used to be on Fox. It was canceled after the first season, but I'm just going to play the beginning, how it starts. Every episode would begin this way. The very first episode of this TV show made was about the number 318. And what this show's about is how numbers connect all things in this world. And at the beginning of the opening, you can see this red string along the bottom. I'm just going to play this. I'm going to show you what this red string's about and how this all makes sense. But just understand, you can look this up. The first episode of this TV show, which is about numbers bringing all things together, is about the number 318. Check this out. Red string down here. This is what I want you to see. Sacred geometry, big part of this. Look at that. Phi. Did you just see Phi back there, you guys? Remember, David West joined the Warriors last year, got this tattoo on his arm. That's the golden ratio with the Golden State Warriors. The golden ratio is 1.61. The Warriors went 16-1 in the playoffs with David West as a new member who had this new tattoo of the golden ratio. And you can see down here is the Fibonacci numbers. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89, 144, 233. These are all the things we talk about. And this is how I show you. This language of numbers and mathematics, this is how the powers that shouldn't be are scripting everything in this world. And all of this knowledge is encoded within the Bible. So look, this introduction, it's 52 seconds long, right? And what's up with the red string that's all along the bottom? See, I'm just fast forwarding here. Let's add things in the way of that. All throughout the thing, this red string comes up across the bottom. And the reason why is this. Red string is important to Kabbalah. Kabbalah. Remember, Kabbalah equals 52. So does Gematria 52. So does Tree of Life 52. So does Etz HaChaim 52, which is the Jewish word for Tree of Life. The Cabal equals 52. The name the Cabal comes from Kabbalah. And Kabbalah is the belief that God created the world with language by merging the letter with the number. You see? So this is why everything is scripted by this code. And you know, you learn this code, you pay attention. Again, you see every day how the sports are rigged this way. You see how the news is rigged this way. It is undeniable. It is undeniable. And as for technology being used in hoops and balls, it's also undeniable based on this story that came earlier this year. I've been saying recently that this story happened May 7th. I went back and looked. I was wrong. It happened August 9th. But it makes no difference. This was August 9th of this year. Harlem Globetrotter took a helicopter to 200 and some feet in the air and shot a basketball out and made it on his first attempt. Can you imagine? Can you imagine shooting a basketball out of a helicopter from 200 and some feet above the hoop and making it on your first try? This guy's name is Bullard, like bullshit, which is exactly what professional sports are. They are bullshit. They're scripted bullshit, wasting everybody's time, everyone's money, everyone's energy. All of you who are emotional and invested in these games, you're invested in. It's like going to a movie and just being so invested in a planned outcome, because there's no difference from the movies to sports. The outcomes are perfectly planned. These people are fulfilling a script. Or I guess it's more like a stage theater production because you're watching the performance live. You just got referees there to make sure everything's perfect along the way. But look at this. Harlem equals 57. Helicopter 57. This guy banked it in. He made a bank shot from 200 and some feet above the hoop. Backboard 57. Trick shot 57. Entertainer 57. As for it happening August 9th, covered a couple years ago when a Harlem Globetrotter dropped dead at age 89. You know, if you went back and watched that video, he was in good health, and even though he was 89, his death surprised people. But what I pointed out that day is how Harlem Globetrotters equals 89. Same with their theme song, you know, with the whistling, Sweet Georgia Brown 89. So this Harlem Globetrotter made this trick shot from a helicopter on August 9th. August 9th. Bullard 210 feet, you know. He wears number 33. By the way, you know, New York and Harlem have that gematria 33. But anyway, this just proves that they're using technology in the ball. And I've been explaining this for a long time. You can see how unnatural some of these shots are. You know, case in point was the end of the men's college championship 2 years ago, where the point guard for North Carolina drove down the court and threw up like a line drive while in the air off balance. A shot that should have had no way of going in the basket, but it rattled in hard. I mean, that shot had the wrong trajectory, just everything. That shot should have just bounced way off the rim, but it got pulled down and in because there is technology in use. It's undeniable. So anyway, 31.8% from the Cleveland Cavaliers. I mean, that is a god-awful field goal percentage. But it's not by accident. It's all tribute. This is a Christmas game. 318 mentions of the return of Jesus. So, just wanted to show this to you guys. More proof of how the games are scripted. Why the Warriors won yet again. I've noticed on my blog when I do sports posts, I immediately have all these people commenting that my pick is wrong, and then they're doing gematria but not really making any sense. I think that the majority of people who post on my blog for sports posts are paid for trolls meant to make gematria look stupid, you know, because I'll post something that's very logical, that's almost always correct, and immediately it's like the first 10 posters are saying I'm wrong. And then they've done their own gematria, which, again, doesn't make any sense the way they've done it. Like, everybody yesterday posted right away that, no, I was wrong, the Cavs were going to win. I was thinking, I don't know. There's not much alignment for the Cavs tomorrow, but... Anyway, Cavs didn't win. I recommend not paying attention to the majority of people posting in the comments on my blog. But there are some people there who are authentic and true. It just seems that the majority are not, unfortunately. And just as another reminder about how scripted these games are, again, what I showed from the end of last year's regular season, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson set a regular season record, two players combining for 678 three-pointers. And again, it was the day that Kobe retired, exactly 678 weeks to the day after Michael Jordan. The Warriors eclipsed Michael Jordan's win record with the Bulls. Remember, the Bulls had 72 wins. The Warriors beat it with 73. And what I also pointed out is that the year that Jordan set the record with 72, his 73rd game of that year was against Del Curry, the father of Steph Curry. You know? Again, showing you just how scripted it all is. So, what are the odds? 678 three-pointers to close out the season. Retirement 678 weeks apart. These were the final two games of the regular season, both being shown on the ESPN channels, ESPN 1 and 2. Jordan finished his career April 16th, 2003. Kobe, April 13th, 2016. If you missed the video I just did on Kobe's retirement ceremony, another perfect example of how everything in sports is scripted. From the final score to the box score to the stories off the field to the retirement ceremonies. And here I was talking about that 106 in this too, with regards to Jordan retiring on the 106th day of the year. They like that number 106. Like how the Cavs fell to 10-6 in the 106-foot tall Oracle Arena last night. 10-6 on the road. And yeah, this is true of every other game that was played yesterday. Every game is scripted this way. But I know the majority of people were paying attention to Cavs Warriors. Yesterday, Oklahoma City upset Houston on Christmas. Show you this real quick. Remember, before the season began, I said I like a Cavs in the finals again, and I was torn on who they'd play. But I like Oklahoma City or the Rockets this year. And so far, the Rockets have been getting the majority of tributes, but Oklahoma City could still put something together, so I'm still watching that. But here's what I wanted to show you. Oklahoma City has this gematria of 133. Look at the 191 too. Again, Society of Jesus 191. The Warriors and Cavs game combined for 191 points. Christmas 110. Again, it was the Cavs and Warriors 110th regular season game, but also 133. And Oklahoma City got the upset on Christmas. This is how we know that these 4 ciphers are the ones to be looking at. These are the important base ciphers. They come up again and again. You learn these 4 ciphers, you'll see the majority of what you need to know, in the world of rig sports and rig news. For the book I've written, I've mainly focused on these 4 ciphers, but I've introduced the other ciphers, but I've taught the people reading, this is what you want to learn and master. You'll see the majority of what you need to see if you're aware of these ciphers. The alphabetic order, forwards and backwards, and then using the word rules of numerology for the reduction ciphers. So, there's always more, but that's enough. Until next time, truth seeker.